What's up, Group Coach Nation? Chris Williams here. Super good question. Let me see if I can look this up and see who asked this question about post engagement. Just to say thanks. We got a bunch of questions, and I'm pulling ones out that I'm not sure we've answered recently. So this is Paul Irvine. Paul Irvine. Thanks, man. How to increase post engagement or the scope and reach of a post. Now, let's just kind of get down to a couple things here. Number one, a super good question, Paul, but let's define what engagement means to you. Okay. So anybody who's working on post engagement, if you're building out some sort of social media platform, I guess would be the easiest way to say it, or even, an email that goes out, what kind of open rate do you get? Those kind of things. You got to decide what's important to you and your offer, your brand, etc. So this is going to be super general. Okay. The lower the ticket offer, free or small price ticket offer, the more important post engagement is going to be. All right. So having all kinds of likes and comments and all kind of stuff underneath it really matters. All right. Because you're trying to throw out something that really needs a lot of volume to get. That's a big deal. The higher ticket the offer, the less engagement you need. Now, I don't mean that people don't care about your post, but you're not after the masses. You're not just trying to get a bunch of wow factor where people just give it a heart or a like because you're holding a puppy. If you're holding a puppy, awesome. But if you're not selling high ticket puppies, then it really doesn't matter. Sorry, puppies. All puppies are high ticket. So worth everything. I love our puppies. So here's what does matter. Make sure that you're connecting to your people. I'm a huge fan of quality over quantity when it comes to posting. I don't deal in low ticket offers. Okay. We teach you guys how to build high ticket offers. So it's not as important to me in my brand to have a bazillion people giving it a thumbs up or a like. We don't drop out information that's like, hey, who wants the top 10 list of how to build social media engagement? Drop me a hashtag, I want it now down below. We don't do that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just not our brand. You got to decide if that's your brand or not. If that's your thing, then that kind of engagement really matters to you. If it's not your thing, go for the quality over the quantity. Okay. So that's first up. You got to have that foundational understanding to decide which way you want to go. Okay. Let's go down because this group is all about high ticket creation for high ticket coaching offers, right? High ticket group coaching offers, building a mastermind of your own. That's what we talk about. So I'm going to go down the higher ticket post engagement path here so you can kind of understand that. Here's a really great way to do this. You see me do this a lot in our community. We answer questions. Okay. I really do want our brand and our presence in your life to be meaningful and educational and help you take the next step. That's it. That's it. You got to decide if that's the thing in your brand. If you're teaching or leading a high ticket group coaching program or mastermind, if that's what you're building, then that's probably what you want to do as well. You want people to lean in on your expertise and know, oh my gosh, this person gets it. They get me. They understand the problems. They understand solutions. I can keep gathering information here. That's a really important thing. And that's something to be really aware of. So in your own marketing and your own branding, your own posting out there, if it's email blasts to your audience, if it's creating a podcast episode, if it's answering questions on, whatever social media platform you happen to be on, you really want to make it relevant to what's really going on in your audience's life. A super simple way to do that. And again, we're here to crack the codes for you guys. Like we try everything out. We do what works best and we just simply pass it along to you. That's what Group Coach Nation is all about. That's what our masterminds teach. It's super simple. All right. You can do the same thing for your audience. We ask questions about what's going on with you. What are you trying to figure out when you join our community? But the really simple reason we ask those questions is because we want to know how to answer your questions. It's not a big, scary, crazy, hard thing to figure out. If you've asked those questions, you've probably found that we've reached out to you and said, oh, we have an answer for that. Let me point you in the right direction. Or let's just jump on a call and talk about it. Or here's the video that goes with your question. It's already in the community. We do this for a reason. You can do the same thing and make your brand and your experience, your posts very relevant. So, Paul, great question. All right. Now, let's just use this one post as an example. I don't know if Paul will ever watch this or not, but Paul, if you are, here's to you, man. Thanks for asking a good question. And I hope this helps. For the rest of us, this just makes sense. Think about this. Paul, you asked a question and I answered your question, like really straightforward. This is a quality over quantity issue because I know that Paul is engaging with us in our community, and that's meaningful to me. Like when you're having a house party, like, right, and you got 100 people coming over. You got some people who are like your besties, and then you got some neighbors and some acquaintances, and then you got people who are like friends of friends, and you don't really know them until they show up at your party, right? So there's these layers of engagement with you at your house party. Well, when example, Paul asking a question, he's somebody who's coming to our house party and he's like really interested in being there and being part of it and adding value and receiving value. Like Paul's the real deal. From a quality standpoint, I want to engage with Paul at the house party. Like I want to let him know, man, so glad you're here. Thanks for coming over. And freaking thanks for bringing like 3 bottles of wine and a dip and chip combo that everybody loves. Like, dude, that's legit. Thank you. There's a different level of engagement with that versus the friend of a friend of a friend who's just coming over because they said there was going to be, free alcohol or something, right? I'm looking for the people who are serious about really wanting to do this. You can do the same with your engagement in your communities. Ask people questions, find out what's going on, and answer their questions. Help them move forward. That's what people need, and that's what people want, truly. I mean, think about it. That's what you and I want. So you got this. Get out there, engage your community, and make your post super relevant. Now, I could go down the path, and there's tons of relatively inexpensive e-courses out there that teach you all of this. I could, and there's tons of free YouTube channels that teach you all this. I could go down the path of like, okay, I got to have a banner that's set a certain way. It has to say 7 steps or 3 steps to achieve social media post domination or something like that, right? And then I have to have super exciting graphics around it. And then I have to be able to, throw some sort of, I got to have the copy being written out below. And I got to drop all kind of hints and teasers in the middle. Yeah, that's, again, a certain type of engagement. But I'm looking to engage with very specific people, right? If you're building a high ticket group coaching program, if you're building a mastermind program, very, very, very similar models. If you're building a mastermind program and you're going to, let's say you're charging $5,000 or $50,000 for people to be in the next several months or next 6 months with you, okay? And you're going to change their lives, whatever your expertise is. Let's just pick a middle spot. You're going to charge $25,000. You're going to change people's lives. And you're trying to fill up a 10-seat mastermind, let's say. Okay, good for you. So you're going to sell that thing out in the next 4 to 8 weeks. $25K per seat, 10 seats, that's $250,000. Wow. I don't know about most of you, but for a lot of people, $250,000 actually moves the needle. Like that in the course of 2 or 3 months makes a difference in their business model. So think about it this way. I don't want 1,000 people to interact with that offer. I need to find the magic 10. I need to find 10 people who are for real about doing something, right? That's it. And in your offer, in your community, in your space, you're not trying to simply send them a free thing and bring them up through the value ladder and sell them something for $200 and then $700 and then get them on a call and sell them something for $5,000 and then move them up to the $20,000 offer. No, I promise you the 10 people who can and will pay you $25,000 are already out there. They already need your expertise and you can work directly with them. You don't have to go through the whole value ladder thing to start a high ticket offer. So on that note, when you're making your post, come at it from that perspective. All right. Build relationships and help people really grow and move in the right direction. That's really valuable. It's valuable to them. It's valuable to you and your brand. It puts you in a place where you're the real deal. You know you're the real deal, and they do too. I think that's honest. I think it's full of integrity. I think it lets people get to know you the right way. And it attracts the people who are going to buy from you. We've all been in this long enough to know it's not just about having buyers. It's easy to get buyers. And if you're struggling with getting your first, second, third client, lean in. Like go to groupcoachnation.com, click on the beginner section. That stuff's for you, okay? But for most of us, we can kind of get through that phase pretty quickly. If you're struggling there, don't feel bad. We all struggle with that at the beginning. And you'll figure it out. If the beginning has lasted 10 years for you, it's okay. We can help you figure that out. But what's more important is when you get to that stage where you're like, okay, I know how to get clients. I know who my clients are. I just want to build that high ticket mastermind offer. I want to have that big high ticket thing that all these other experts have. You can build that, and you don't need to go through the insanely long value ladder to do that, because you're just looking for quality over quantity. All right. Now, let me take this one step farther, because Paul asked a great question. And as we know, getting people engaged in a post and engaged in your communities and getting them through this process means you're probably going to end up on a lot of calls of some sort with your audience. Okay. Sales call, strategy call, coffee call, whatever you want to call it. You're going to get on a Zoom call or a voice call with people. The purpose of those calls, again, is quality over quantity, right? You want to have some sort of engagement process that allows you to talk to people who are really serious, people who really want to do something with the expertise that you have. Now, that doesn't mean that every person you're going to call with, you're trying to sell. I get on, I think, 5 calls a week. My calendar allows for 5 calls a week with people in our community. That's super fun. I love all those calls. I don't make a mastermind seat offer on most of my calls. I'm here to help people. On our calls, we're here to connect you with someone else in the community who you should get to know, partner with, work a deal with, like share audiences, share podcasts, something. We want to help everybody move forward. So we're looking for an introduction for you. Great. We're looking to crack the code on something quickly. If you're on that call with us, I'm saying all this to say, model this in your own calls, right? So you're there to introduce people to other people, like help build their network, help build your network, help people be awesome. If you can, and you can crack the code for what they got a problem with right there on the call, you got 30 minutes or whatever, do it. Help them take the next step. That's what we do in our calls. If you find that they are the right thing, the third thing, if you find they're the right person for your mastermind group, tell them about it. Make the offer. Doesn't have to be weird, right? We're here to help each other out. If they're the right person, then it will make sense for them. If they're not the right person, move on, right? Love that model. It's so low stress. It allows us to actually get things done. It allows us to fill masterminds, but it also allows us to fill masterminds with the right people who weren't pressured into it, who really want that enormous jump, that enormous change. They want to build a high-ticket mastermind now in our community. That's how it works. They want to skip the 7 or 8 years of learning. In your program, I don't know. What's your expertise? What are you helping people do? How are you helping them overcome real issues and problems? Figure that out, and they'll be attracted to you. So when it comes to post, quality over quantity when it comes to high-ticket offers every time. Do the work, get the results, folks. You know how that works. Do the work, get the results. Having some super amazing, huge post that gets 2,000 comments and 100,000 likes or hearts or hugs is only going to get you, instead of maybe 30 seconds of fame in front of your audience, it might get you a day, maybe a day and a half of fame in front of your audience. Then it's over. Quality sticks around. Quantity, it's a flash in the pan, right? Do the work, get the results, lean in, grow to groupcoachnation.com. We got tons of resources there. We got tons of resources right here. Wherever you're finding this content right now, there are tons of resources. Get familiar with it. Search through how we've organized things. Understand how we've laid this out for you so you can quickly reference information, start growing, start learning. Build your high-ticket group coaching offer. It's extremely efficient, profitable for you. But most importantly, it changes people's lives. And that's what builds a sustainable business for you and for them. So there you go. Do the work, get the results. Get out there and crush it. Talk to you guys soon.